Shalom again from RAMOT Yerushalayim. We're continuing in our series in Eretz Yisrael in the Parsha, and we've come to Parshas Vayechi. Rashi begins the Parsha by asking, Lama Parsha zu stuma? Why is it that Parshas Vayechi is stuma? The psukim don't seem to have the regular gap in the text that we're used to between parshios to give us time to think and to be able to understand what it is that we just received and what we're about to receive in this week's parsha. Rashi writes that the text of the Torah itself is ki'ilu, closing in on itself, as the Jewish people descend into Egypt. Nistimu eineim v'liban shel Yisrael, the eyes and the hearts of the Jewish people are being stuffed and are being clogged as we're entering into Egypt, because as we know, when a Jew is being thrown out of his natural environment, when a Jew is being tossed from Eretz Yisrael into Egypt, there's a certain closing of the heart. When I read this Rashi, I often think of the Jewish people being given a few minutes to gather their belongings as the Nazis are telling them, you have to gather in the town square. You can imagine at such a time a person's eyes, a person's heart aren't exactly acting in the normal fashion. Rav Yechiel Michal of Ostrovtza explained that every time the Torah gives us a difficult piece of news, the eyes and the hearts of the Jewish people are being stuffed. Simultaneously, Hashem is giving us a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel. Hashem's giving us something to hold on to be able to get through the hard times. He explained that despite the fact that the text is closing in on the Jewish people as the eyes and the hearts of Am Yisrael are being stuffed as we're going into Egypt, at the same time, by linking Parshas Vayigash to Parshas Vayechi, we understand that in Parshas Vayigash, that was the last time the Jewish people were still in Eretz Yisrael. By creating a textual bridge which links Vayigash to Vayechi, which eventually leads into Shemos, the Torah is making it so that even though the Jewish people have left Eretz Yisrael, we're still somehow connected through the text, which doesn't have a break. There's no pause, there's no breath between being in Eretz Yisrael and being in Galus. This is Hashem's way of telling us that even as the Jewish people in large numbers remain outside of Eretz Yisrael, the text of the Torah itself that we're reading this week, which is still connected to the Parsha of Vayigash, where the Jewish people are still in Eretz Yisrael, means that the inability for the bond of a Jewish person to be broken between Eretz Yisrael and the soul of a Jew, this is something which is essential to our personality, to our nation, to our people. Hashem should help us that as we read Parshas Vayigash, we reinvigorate ourselves with the connectivity to Eretz Yisrael, to Am Yisrael, and ultimately, by being still connected through the text of Parshas Vayigash to Vayechi, will be zocha that all of Am Yisrael return to Eretz Yisrael with the Gula Shlema of Amitas from here of Amen.